Hello, my name is Joe Esposito. I live in Owasso, Oklahoma. I've lived here 19 years. I'm just going to do a little show and tell today about pulsed, non-ionizing microwave radiation, which we've all become immersed in the sea of. And I have a $1,000 gigahertz meter. It's an HFE 35C. This is about a $1,000 meter, and it can detect radiation. Most people don't even know that you can detect this radiation. And so I just want to show you the sources out where I live. I'm actually north of Owasso on the city limits. But there's health issues. I have a 1972 Navy military document. It's 2,300 studies of 5 pages of health symptoms. And since people have never been told this, I think it would be wise to help people understand what's happening to them physiologically when they're being exposed to these multi-sources of radiation, including a smart meter. Okay, we're going to show you the smart meter and the gas meter. Remember, the gas meter is going off every 15 seconds at over 2,000 microwatts. This is my little homemade Faraday cage, and it protects the meter. The meter's inside right now, and the reading on the meter is a 0.9 inside this cage. All right, so you can see that this blocks the radiation. So what? Remember, it's 0.9. Now let's come out here. That's over 200 microwatts. We'll go to 2,000 and just try to see. Now remember, it drops off and then comes back up. So there's about 600. I think I saw 700. So that's 600 microwatts, and that does it for like 20 seconds, then drops off. Now we're going to go over and read this gas meter. So I'm just, the reason I showed you this is just to, okay, now come over here to this gas meter. So see this way, see the radiation this way is only 15. See, the open end is that way. So it's a directional meter. Now watch when we turn this way. So it's pegged in the meter. Now we're going to put this right here. Okay, and it's on the gas meter. Okay, so it's dropping now. Went to 19, and it just pegged. Okay, so now it's going to drop again. It's going down. 16, 15, 14. All right, there, just transmitted. Just then. So you can time it. It's almost 15 to 20 seconds. This gas meter, it's got a battery that goes 20 years in this thing. And this is pulsing everybody that just went off again just now. And so the point is, I live in an area that there are 300 some feet between houses, but I've been to houses where the houses were 15 feet apart. And this one lady named B over there in Oklahoma City, I-44 in Classen, we went to her house. She went to OU Medical School. 3 days of testing, couldn't find anything wrong with her. She had all these things, and all it was the radiation. I went and read her house. Wireless mouse, wireless keypad. She had Wi-Fi. She had a smart meter 14 feet hitting her in the face when she did dishes all day. You know, in her kitchen, she was being hit. Then they had gas meters on between the houses facing, you know, this meter of this house faced this house, and this meter faced that house. And the little girls in this house, in the bedroom, were having behavioral problems. That's a whole nother issue to all this, is the children can't handle this radiation. It's far more severe on children than it is the adults. So we got gas meters and water meters and electric meters all pulsing like this all the time, 24/7. There's no break, there's no holidays, and they're not telling us what's happening to us. And people's health is suffering something really bad. And mine was. But once I learned all this, I've been able to protect myself, and at night, because I sleep in a Faraday cage, I can repair and keep going. Normally, I'd have been, in bad shape by now with all that. Okay, so that's just a little demonstration. Okay, this is my $1,100 new smart meter that I paid for to get it off 92 feet of my house, according to Judge Nightingale and PSO. This little cage, what it shows is it only is letting the radiation come from that meter into my meter, my gigahertz. So like right now it's 6.5.1, and so when the meter transmits, you'll see it peg on the left-hand side of the dial, which means this meter can't read it anymore. So these things there's a 900 megahertz land area network, and then there's a Zigbee, that's 2.4 gigahertz, and this thing reads 2.4 gigahertz. There it went. See it peg? It just went over 200 just then. But now remember, when it does that, the Zigbee is putting out 4.8 billion cycles a second. And that's creating the dirty electricity. And it's radiating everybody and everything around us. And this power company will come along, and they testified at the Oklahoma Corporation Commission when I was there on August the 14th. And this guy from OU gets up and he says, well, that's only going off 4, 5, 6 times a day. And I got up after him and I said, oh man, I said, they're going off in a court of law. They said 14 to 190,000 times a day, and I have a meter that reads it.
Okay, your detector here is set at a maximum of 200.
Yes.
And right now it's reading about 20
right
at 200.
Right.
And when your smart meter
transmit,
it goes over 200.
Yeah.
And we'll see just the number 1 on the far left.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I can go to 2,000 and it'll still do the same thing.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's over 2,000. Remember that guy said it's 90,000 microwatts per transmission.
Okay. Okay.
There it went.
There it just went there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put it on 2,000. Okay, I'm going to put it back up here again and let's see what it does this time. You're not going to hear it like you did before. It's down to 18, 19. There it went. It transmitted, and it went to 2,000. Do you see it? When it goes to the left, that'll be 2,000 microwatts or over. And that's what they're trying to tell you, is it could be 90,000 microwatts every transmission, and they're going off up to 200,000, 190,000 times a day. There it went. Just like the gas meters, just like the water meters. Yeah. They're all over 2,000. And the issue is, that's enough, because if the bioinitial report is saying 3 microwatts is causing cell damage, I mean, there it went again. So you don't even know, I mean, how much more do you need to know? It's causing cellular damage. And that radiation is not just hitting you in the skin, it's going through your body. It's slicing and dicing your DNA. It's attenuating on your DNA double helix, on the DNA strands themselves. We attenuate all this stuff. We're not used to it. We never were. And all this has just happened in these last few years. And we weren't being told. And they don't want to tell you about the health damages and everything that's going on. Okay, all this is on my house is aluminum mill grade. It's called gray window. It's metal. It's the metal, not the fiberglass. Window screen wire. You can buy this 4 foot, 6 foot widths. And all I did is nailed it. This is concrete nails with a washer. Just nail it to the house, and then up there it's just stapled to the wood. And then this here is just all it is a piece of window screen wire. This has been abused a little. And that's all it takes. But for what you need to know is how bad things are at your house first, because it might be real good. I've been to houses that are fine. They're 0.1, 0.2, but they're getting hit with 5.5 gigahertz. This will block it all. And so this is cheap. I mean, 4 by 100 foot is $107. 6 foot by 100 foot is like $180. And so it's not expensive.
But it's the metal. It's not fiberglass or
right. This is metal. It's just metal aluminum screen wire, and it doesn't take a lot to put it up or do it. And then I grounded it to the earth, which is part of it. But it's pretty inexpensive for remediation or mitigation. It just helps block it, and that's what it's done here. I can show you. I can prove it. This is science and facts. This is not subjective type things. Because you've seen what the radiation levels are here, and in the house where my wife's head was, might be 5 or 6, and my daughter's room was 4 last night. So it's a huge difference, and it'll be a huge difference in your sleeping and your health, because just stopping the stuff that's coming in. So you got to get it checked out and find out what's going on.